Hello listeners and welcome back to our third podcast. First of all, thank you to all the people who listened to the previous ones. And for the ones who doesn't know it yet, Better Together is a project created by Curba de Cultură and co-financed by the Netherlands Embassy. Its aim is to raise awareness among youngsters about what is domestic violence and what is part of it. I'm Carla and today we are going to play a game with one of our local volunteers.
Hi, I'm Ivona. I'm 18 and I'm from Făgetu.
Okay, Ivona, so now I will give you some examples of different kind of abuse and you will have to categorize them in the main categories, which are psychological and emotional abuse, physical abuse, digital abuse, cultural and identity abuse, financial abuse, sexual coercion and reproductive control, sexual abuse, and litigation abuse. Everything clear?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go with the first example. Looking through your phone.
Okay.
In which kind of abuse do you think that can be categorized?
Maybe digital abuse since it's the phone.
Yes, correct.
Nice.
Next one, we have pressures a sexual partner to have sex when the other person doesn't want.
I would say it's sexual coercion or sexual abuse.
Correct also. Okay, the next one is going to be being obliged to sell your body.
Okay, and I would say around the sexual abuse.
Okay, this one is like a bit tricky because it can be also like sexual coercion. And it's also sexual abuse.
Like it's between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. It's part of both of them because like sexual abuse is when someone like also uses force,
yes.
Something like that. And sexual coercion is when someone tries to convince you to do something that you don't want. And selling your body is both of them is someone is obliging you to do it.
Exactly.
So I will give you half a point for this one.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have pushes, slaps, bites, kicks or chokes you.
Physical abuse.
Okay, correct this one also too. And now we have threatens to end a relationship if a person doesn't have sex.
Okay, this could go for sexual coercion, but I can see it being like psychological and emotional abuse.
Good choice, both of them are correct. When someone is like manipulating you in that kind of way, it's also psychological abuse because they want like you to depend on them. They want to control you somehow, and using sex to do that is also like sexual coercion because like you don't really want to do that, but the other person is just threatening you, like if you don't do it I will break up with you, so you have to. Okay, we have now telling you who can or cannot follow or be friends in social media.
I think this may fall a bit like psychological and emotional because it's telling you what to do, but it's on social media, so it may be digital abuse.
Correct, it's both of them. Like in the big scale will come inside the digital abuse since it's like controlling your social media and stuff. But yeah, it's also like another way of controlling you. So yeah, both of them are correct. And now we have threatening you to out your sexual orientation or gender identity.
Okay, this one I'm not sure. Maybe identity abuse?
This one is part of the cultural and identity abuse, yes.
Okay.
Because it's also like identity, as you say.
Oh, yeah.
It's your thing and you choose to whom like you want to go out or you don't want to go out and stuff. So if someone threatens you, it's abuse because like no one has to take this choice for you. And now we have requesting many adjournments in court.
I'm not that sure, but it may be litigation abuse.
That's also correct. Litigation abuse is all the kind of abuse that puts like the legislation part inside. For example, if you want to get divorced from your abuser and he or she is putting like a lot of obstacles in the middle, like asking for adjournments or like making you go a lot of times to court even though if you don't have to. Things like that.
I wasn't really aware of this until now.
What? See, you learned something new. That's
exactly.
Nice. And we have damages property when angry.
I would say financial abuse, because like it damages the property, but it may be a bit like physical abuse because they use force, so I'm not sure.
This one is physical abuse.
Okay.
Because he's showing she is showing the anger that he or she has, like just breaking things. You know, it's like instead of like
sense.
Pushing you, it's just breaking things. And it's just showing you that what can happen to you.
Yeah,
you know,
like uses the objects as an example for
Correct.
what can happen.
Or maybe it's just like a way of like just getting rid of the anger and stuff, but is still a way to show what that person can do, and a way of like showing also that the way that they have to express themselves when they are mad and stuff, which is not good.
Okay, I think I understand better now.
Okay, so now we have stealing or pressuring you to share your passwords.
Digital abuse because of the passwords.
Correct. Another point for you. And now we have forbidding attendance to school or workplace.
Okay, this one is a bit harder. I would maybe say like maybe financial abuse.
Why do you think it's financial abuse?
Because it's like letting you like go to school for better opportunities to get money, but at the same time I'm not 100% sure, but I don't see what other category can be.
I think like you are just 100% correct. It's financial abuse, as you say, like it's just not letting you to go like to get opportunities or to get money for yourself. So it's a way also of controlling you. Okay, and now we have restricting access to transport so you can leave home.
Okay, this one maybe may fall again financial abuse, but I'm not sure because again it falls under the category of not letting you leave to get better opportunities.
Yeah, but this one is related with psychological and emotional abuse.
Oh, okay.
It's a way of controlling, like have total control over you.
Trapping you somewhere.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see it now.
So if you can go anywhere, you cannot ask for help. Well,
Yes.
if you have a phone, yes, but usually if they are not letting you go anywhere, probably you will not have a phone.
Yes, like they will trap you for good.
Yeah. Okay, now we have sending, requesting, or pressuring you to send unwanted explicit content.
Sexual coercion and that part of it, like it's not sexual abuse because it's not using force, just the trying to convince you against your will.
Mm-hmm. But this is also digital abuse.
Oh,
Because it's like using like not social media, also can be
Yes.
social media, but like to send him, obviously you're not going to send a letter, you know.
yeah.
That's not what we are doing in this century anymore. But yeah, it's like both of them. When it's like putting pressure on you to do something that you don't want, it's like also psychological abuse. But in the case with this, with a specific and explicit content, like related to sex, so it's like also like digital abuse and sexual coercion. And we have denies that acts or events happen in the way that you know that they happened.
Psychological and emotional abuse. They try to like control the way you see things, or
Mhm.
just to change your mind. Like he's right, you're wrong.
Correct. And do you know which is the specific term for this action?
Gaslighting, if I'm not wrong.
Correct. Another point for you. Okay, and now we have hurts your children.
Physical abuse.
Correct. It's also can be psychological also. Because like your kids are your kids and
Yes.
you are going to be probably protecting them, so hurting your kids for the abusers, it's also a way to control you in like direct way, you know, like if they know that with you like you are putting barriers or something like that, and something it doesn't affect you the same way that was affecting before, if they attack your kids or for example your pets, it's also like a way to harm you directly. So
They're using your loved ones against you.
correct. And we have appealing the judge's orders without a legal basis to do so.
Litigation abuse.
Correct. And we have also removes a condom during sex without telling his or her sexual partner.
It's about sexual coercion and reproductive control.
Correct. This is a kind of abuse. In some countries it's already forbidden by law also.
Yes.
It's like recognized by law. I think in Spain, for example, is recognized by law when this happens. So yeah, if someone does that to you, be aware that that person is abusing you. And we have wanting you to ask for permission before doing something or spending time with other people.
Psychological and emotional abuse. They want to control your friend circle, your life.
Totally correct. And that's like sometimes that happens like in they start always like it's a cycle of abuse. So it starts like everything like super fine and everything is starting to escalate bit by bit. And this is also like one of the things that it's like that starts super slow and you don't realize until you reach the point that it's like, wait, why are you controlling me in that way, you know?
They're taking it slow so you can't notice the things they do.
Correct.
Until it's too late at least.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like, okay, you can tell your partner like, okay, I'm going with that person, or maybe your partner is just asking you because he's curious or she's curious, and that's all, and that's totally fine, it's totally okay. And another thing is if they do it like to control you, to know, like I want to know where are you, with who are you, and exactly like all the time, just keep me updated, and that's not healthy at all. That's a super red flag. And maintaining total control over your financial resources.
Financial abuse.
That has trick. It had financial in the sentence.
Yes, it is obvious.
Inside financial abuse, for example, we have that maybe one part of the partner of the couple is just working. For example, let's put like she's working and he's not working, and let's put that he's abuser. And but all the money that she has as income, he's taking it. Or on reverse, like she's taking it and he's the one working. Like I just remind to all our listeners that abuse can be like, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter your age, your anything. It can be like perpetrated by men, perpetrated by women, and
anyone can be an abuser.
And everybody can be a person who is abused. So
yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Next one. Abandons you in a dangerous or unfamiliar place.
Okay, this may fall under psychological and emotional abuse because they want to put you in a scenario where you are scared, you want to rely on them, to be next to them, so you don't go alone next time.
But it also enters in physical abuse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like you are just suddenly in a place that you don't know and something can happen to you like perfectly.
Oh.
Like, you never know. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, it's both of them. Have sex with someone who is under the effect of drugs or alcohol.
I can't tell if it's sexual coercion or sexual abuse because it's between the two of them.
This one is sexual abuse.
Okay.
Because when you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol, it's not, your brain is not working properly.
Yes.
So you are not taking the decisions that you will take when you are sober. So it's an abuse, sexual abuse, totally. Because like maybe you want, but it's not your, let's say, fresh brain.
Yes.
So maybe when you are sober, you are not taking the decision. So
yeah, it may be different.
Important thing for everybody to know, when someone is drunk, as we said just now, they are not in control of their acts. I mean, they are, but at the same time they are not, because they are intoxicated. So don't try to have sex with a person that is drunk, because it's not fully conscient about what is happening, and it's like it's an abuse if you do that.
They are not themselves 100%.
Exactly. And now we have hides, withholds or destroys a sexual partner's birth control pills.
Sexual coercion and reproductive control.
Totally true. That happens sometimes, that one part of the partner wants to have a kid and the other one doesn't want, and the part that wants, let's say like in Spain we say sabotear. You are trying to just move things or hide things or break things to reach your point, to have a kid, and you are not telling your partner because like your partner doesn't want. So if it happens, it's like, oh, it happened. It wasn't me, but it happened, and now we are having a kid. So yeah. And have harming your pet as punishment for something that you did.
Physical abuse and emotional and psychological, because they use your loved ones against you.
Correct. Okay, and threats to self-harm.
Threats to self-harm. Psychological and emotional abuse. They want you to feel sorry for them, and make you feel like you're in the wrong.
Correct. And they also want to feel you, like, to make you feel responsible of their decisions, when it's never like that. Everybody is responsible of their own decisions. So if that person wants to kill themselves, it's like, okay, you can try to stop it, but it's at the end their own decision. So,
Yes.
and they cannot make you feel guilty about that. Also to control you, because like usually when an abuser does that, it's like another way that they have to control you. Like, just look what you are making me do.
Yeah.
And using social media to track your activities.
Digital abuse.
Correct. And we have like few left. Breaks or pokes holes in a condom on purpose.
Sexual coercion and reproductive control.
Correct. And we are reaching the last one. Preventing or discouraging you from seeing family or friends and making you feel guilty when you do.
Psychological and emotional abuse. Again, they want to trap you to not contact your loved ones so they can help you.
Correct. And the last one, we have intentionally exposes a sexual partner to a sexually transmitted infection.
I would say sexual coercion and reproductive control rather than sexual abuse.
Yes, totally correct. The main difference between sexual abuse and sexual coercion and reproductive control, I mean, this category enters also inside sexual abuse, but sexual abuse also has inside rape.
Yes.
Statutory rape, that it's when like one part of the couple is like under age,
Yes.
not only 17, but for example under 16 in some countries, and they are not considered by law like grown up enough to take by themselves the decision that okay, I want to have sex or I don't want. So if the partner, for example, one person is 13 years old and the other one is 18, it's statutory rape, because even though if the person of 13 years old wants, like by law, they don't consider that that person has the knowledge enough to be aware of everything and to choose by themselves.
Especially that the 18 years old maybe take advantage of them in the first place.
Can be. Like, this option is always open, sadly. And also in sexual abuse, we also have human trafficking. As we said before, it's when like someone obliges you to sell your body for money. And human trafficking is like a huge topic that we are not going to go deep now, because as I said, it's a huge topic and there's a lot of things inside involved in that. So, yeah. Did you like the game?
Yes, I really like the game. I'm happy you invited me here.
Nice. And which one, like, I don't know, like, did you saw or did you live any of them? Like,
I'm not really sure. Like, I'm happy I didn't get to live any of them.
I'm happy for you too.
I think the closest one was when I came out to like maybe the wrong person, and I was in a bit of danger because what if they told someone they shouldn't? But in the end, it didn't happen, so I was safe.
Nice, that's good. And how would you react, for example, if one of your friends comes to you like, okay, last weekend I was drunk and I woke up with someone that I didn't remember and I don't know what to do?
I would be angry for them, not to them. I would never be angry at my friends for that, but for them because they were taking advantage of. I would like ask them, do you remember anything, face, hair, did they say a name, where did you meet them, like any kind of information to find them and go to the police.
Okay.
And also comfort them because they really need it.
Good choices, all of them. And I would also add, like, for example, to go to the hospital or to the doctor in case that they had sexual relations, and like to take like proofs of that, because since it's an abuse. And for example, like when these cases happens, I know that for the victim, like the first thing to do is like take a shower because they are feeling super bad usually.
Yes.
And they want to feel clean and stuff, but don't take a shower and go to the doctor or to the hospital, explain what happened, and they are going to take some tests to you and to keep like some proofs. So it's super important.
Also, besides proof, they can like test for any sexual infections.
Yes.
Because this is also important.
Totally important, yeah. So, okay, I think that's all for today.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Thank you for coming. Let's hope we have you in some of the next podcast.
I would love to.
Nice. And for our listeners, I hope you learned something new today. And as always, if you have any question, any comment, just leave it in the comment sites, or you can send me an email and I will answer you as soon as possible. And see you in the next podcast. Bye!
Bye!